Not everybody has a Deebo Samuel on their team, but there are some teams with some pretty fast wide receivers that should be using them in other ways than just catching the ball. So today we're going to use one of those ways, the jet sweep, to score a touchdown with the fastest wide receiver on every team. These are kind of sort of semi-updated. I mean, there's a lot going on in free agency. One day Devontae Adams is a Packer, the next day he's a Raider. Amari Cooper's on the Browns. But as of today, these are the most up-to-date wide receivers on every single team. So let's start with the Bears. Darnell Mooney, 93 speed, up against the Rams and Aaron Donald. Yes, there's one man to beat. Look at Mooney's speed. Ramsey hawks him down though. Wait a minute. Bears, take notes. Matt Nagy, take some notes. Use Mooney like this and good things will happen. On to the Bengals, 94 speed. Jamar Chase is the fastest. Once I get past the 50, you have to run the jet sweep every single time. These guys are good enough with the ball in their hands that they're going to be able to score from that far out, or at least get a lot closer. Jamar Chase around the edge. Need this man to do it again, just to the other side on his 1st and 10. We're right outside the red zone. Oh, he's gonna find the lane and use that speed to get in the end zone. This man is different. On the Buffalo Bills, the fastest player as of right now is Stephon Diggs. Diggs in motion, getting some nice blocks. He's nasty with the ball in his hands. He's just so good at route running that people forget how nasty he is with the yak. And the Bills should probably look to get him more involved in the running game. I don't see it backfiring. You get the ball in the hands of your second best player. I'll say Josh Allen's probably the best player. Bills fans might disagree with me, but yeah, Diggs is either number 1 or number 2 as he gets 6 right there. The Denver Broncos fastest wide receiver is KJ Hamler, 94 speed. KJ Hamler on the carry, and he's already shown how fast he is. Jesus Christ. Carry number 2 for KJ Hamler, getting to the outside once again, 5 yards away from a touchdown. He's down at the 1. Hamler with this speed, getting to the outside. Now the wide receiver room in Cleveland looks a lot different than it did last year. Amari Cooper, Jakeem Grant, but Anthony Schwartz at 96 speed is their fastest wide receiver. Here comes Schwartz. Yes, sir. 96 speed is just too much. There's nothing you can do about it. He easily gets around Winfield. I'd say maybe one more jet sweep and he's in there. Easily. With a run game with Chubb, Hunt, and now Deshaun passing. There's too many guys to worry about. Now AB's most likely not going back to the Bucks after what happened, but they still have Evans and Godwin, not to mention 94 speed Scotty Miller, who we're going to use for this challenge. Someone with this much speed should probably get more involved in the run game. Brady back in Tampa Bay after a quick few-week retirement. Scotty gonna waltz in untouched to the end zone. Arizona actually has 2 94+ speed wide receivers to go along with Nuke Hopkins, but we're going to be using Andy Isabella. Now the Cards did lose Christian Kirk. I don't know if they're bringing back AJ Green. Isabella might be asked to actually do this more often next season. Isabella with a nice carry. Yeah, great block on the outside. One man to beat. Okay, maybe a little bit more than one, but they have the luxury of having 2 guys with so much speed. Apart from DeAndre Hopkins, and I think they'll be fine even though they lost some pieces. Isabella skying for the touchdown. On to the Chargers. Obviously they have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, but their fastest one is Jalen Guyton with 93 speed. Chargers obviously part of that just crazy AFC West that's making a big move every other day. It seems like man that just made that tackle is not actually on the Seahawks right now. Bobby Wagner, another big piece of the puzzle that's going to drop at any moment, man. Where he decides to go is going to change things up as well. But while we're on the Chargers, you got to talk about Khalil Mack joining their stacked defense along with JC Jackson. This team is going to be scary, especially if they decide to get Guyton involved like this. One more carry should go ahead and do it, man. 1st and goal. Guyton just way too fast. We're moving on. Not only is Tyreek the fastest wide receiver on the Chiefs, but obviously the fastest one in the league, so I didn't want to waste time showing the roster. Already making people look silly. One more carry should go ahead and do it for the jet sweep king. I gotta be honest, I think he's probably the best when it comes to wide receivers on jet sweeps in the league. Like Deebo out the backfield, yeah, but wide receivers coming across the formation, I don't know if there's anyone better. Colts might not bring back TY, but regardless, he wouldn't have been the guy we're going with in today's video. That's gonna be Paris Campbell, 94 speed. No more Carson Wentz at quarterback for the Colts. Could they be in the running for Baker Mayfield? Who knows? We're gonna find out probably in the next few weeks, or you know, during the draft, who the next quarterback will be. They just need to game manager. You have Jonathan Taylor at freaking running back. Like, you don't have to beat the world by yourself. You can hand it off to Paris Campbell. I don't know why he looks smaller than he is in real life. In real life, he's 6 feet tall. In this game, honestly, he looks like 5'9", 5'10" at best. And I would know. I'm a 5'10" short king, baby. Paris Campbell to the edge, diving down to the 1. Oh, there it is. Paris getting to the edge, diving in for the touchdown. The Cowboys replace Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson with James Washington. He's actually tied with Gallup for the fastest on the team. I thought CD was faster than that, but I guess we'll go with Gallup. I gotta be honest, man. Gallup is a really good receiver. He's a great jump ball receiver, but I for sure thought CD Lamb would be the fastest on the team because he's just so nasty in real life when you see him in the open field. But hey, Gallup ain't half bad, man. Maybe he gets more opportunities next year at wide receiver number 2. Now that Amari is gone, he might get more carries. He might get more looks from the backfield. Wow, he might need to improve that carrying first, but once he gets that squared away, we all good to go. 2nd down and 5. Gallup with the stiff arm. I think one more carry should go ahead and do it, man. Byard is going to be a menace to get past, but I think we can do it. Gallup with the stop and go. Gallup with the speed. Get into the end zone. That was Cedric Wilson's old team. His new team, the Miami Dolphins, has Jalen Waddle as their fastest wide receivers, 97 speed. The Dolphins have made some nice little splashes here and there. They got Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Teddy Bridgewater as insurance for Tua. So they're doing their thing, man. Even though they lost Will Fuller, they still have a guy with a lot of speed. They still have Devontae Parker who can be that number 1. All right, we're getting in on this one. We are getting in on this one. Waddle breaking it to the outside. Okay, maybe not. We're inside the 10 though. Oh, the cutback. Waddle getting down to the 1 where he fumbles. You gotta be kidding me. Let's get it in from the 10. Come on, there's no way to stop you. There's no way to stop you. Just way too fast. 97 speed. This shouldn't have taken us 2 drives. On to Philadelphia, where Devontae Smith is very solid, but he's not nearly as fast as Quez Watkins, 98 speed. I vividly remember last season giving Jalen Reagor the jet sweeps and the trickeration plays when we had a 98 speed Quez Watkins right there. So hopefully next season we could just see more of Quez Watkins getting the ball in these type of situations where he could just use his speed and his great yak ability to get touchdowns for this team. Falcons lost Russell Gage to their division rival Buccaneers. Calvin Ridley suspended for the entire season. So as of right now, their wide receiver depth chart is Olamide Zaccheaus, Frank Darby, and Austin Trammell. But CK, they just re-signed Cordarrelle Patterson. Cut me some slack, man. I recorded this video before that news came out. Otherwise, you know he would have been the guy here. Come on now. But since he's still on the team technically, we're just gonna use Calvin Ridley and see what could have been. Here we go. Ridley with some nice blocks on the edge. 1 man to beat. He's getting down inside the 15. Hey man, at the very least, he's gonna take a year off, come back even healthier and faster in 2023. Now the Commanders' 2 best wide receivers just so happen to be their 2 fastest. 94 speed Scary Terry, 95 speed Curtis Samuel. That's who we're gonna use. Carson Wentz is now their quarterback. It's crazy that he's back in the NFC East throwing the Philadelphia Eagles players again. No, I'm only kidding, man. Hey, I'm still a Carson fan. I think he can bounce back. He has some great talent at wide receiver to throw to. Got some great field position. Let's try not to waste it. 3rd down and 8. Yes! Curtis Samuel gonna waltz his way to the end zone untouched. Oh, that's an elite celebration. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thank God he's actually the fastest wide receiver on the Niners. Otherwise, it would be kind of weird not using the inspiration for today's video, Debo. There's not really much to say about this situation. Debo already gets a ton of carries. Probably the most, not even probably. I know it is the most by any wide receiver in the league. On the left hash, we're gonna run it to the right side. This one could not only be a 1st down, but also a house call. Debo getting to the edge. 1 man to beat. Look at the stiff arm. There's just certain players that can play like almost any position that they put their mind to. Debo is definitely one of them, in my humble opinion. Diving into the end zone. The Giants have 2 guys with 93 speed, but we're going to use Kadarius Toney because he has 95 COD, 5th highest in the league for a wide receiver. I remember about a year ago, right around this time, you know, right before the draft, watching his highlights, I was like, yeah, the Eagles need someone like that. And then of course he goes to the Eagles' rival, the freaking Giants, man. And somehow they didn't use him as much as I expected. Now, to be fair, their entire season was not very good. He was injured, so maybe next year could be a lot better. You know, for his sake, I hope he has a good individual season. I'm not rooting against the man. I'm just, you know, hoping he doesn't do it against my team. That was Evan Ingram's old team we just looked at. Now we're taking a look at his new squad, the Jaguars. The team that just paid Christian Kirk, but they still employ Jamal Agnew, who's 1 speed speed faster, so we're using him. Christian Kirk, nice addition. Brandon Scherf, Evan Ingram, and that's just offense. Defense, they made some changes too. Look for the Jaguars to make some noise next season. Agnew on the returns, as well as maybe on the jet sweeps. What a tackle. But we're gonna score on the very next play. The Jets have 2 brand new tight ends, CJ Uzoma, Tyler Conklin, but their wide receivers is what we're focused on. And right now, Jeff Smith, he's the fastest on the team. We're gonna go with him. Last year, he had a total of 8 catches for 113 yards on the season in 12 total games. But he did have 1 rush last year, so I guess there's a sliver of hope. If he's making plays like that, why is he not getting more touches? And you would think the Jets, hey man, you might as well try. What do you have to lose? What, more games? Like, come on, bro. Give this man a chance. Get him more carries, more touches, and good things might end up happening in New York. The Lions made a couple nice moves. They have DJ Chark on the team now. Now, he's tied with Khalif Raymond at 94 speed, but since he's the higher overall, we're going with him. Jared Goff could be solid if he has some good talent to throw to. Chark is a step in the right direction. It's Hawkinson, DeAndre Swift, so they're starting to finally make some moves. Things could be looking a little bit better for Detroit, man. Here comes Chark once again. He's had trouble staying healthy, but when he is, he's a demon. Had a 1,000-yard season in just his 2nd year in the league. Looking to get back to that next year as he gets the touchdown. It's weird to see the Packers without Devontae Adams on the team. I don't know how they're going to replace his production. They almost have to make another move, you know, maybe draft some talent at wide receiver. Right now, Alan Lazard, 90 speed is their fastest. Let's look at the glass half full perspective from the Packers side. You have the A. Rodgers connection. The draft is still coming up, so you could definitely get a young wide receiver. You don't play in the AFC West, and you're most likely going to get at least a playoff berth because Aaron Rodgers is just that good. Now, obviously, losing Devontae sucks, but Aaron Rodgers was a little one-track minded when it came to Devontae, and the proof was in that last playoff game, the last play where he just missed a wide open Alan Lazard, so maybe he takes the next step next year. Carolina's led by DJ Moore at wide receiver, but Robbie Anderson is still their fastest. Hey man, you can't tell me Robbie shouldn't get more touches on the ground, or just more touches in general. I know CMC coming back healthy, if they don't trade him, could do wonders for that offense. Maybe look to get a quarterback in the draft, Malik Willis, but either way, they seem to be set at wide receiver. I for sure thought the Patriots are going to make a move in the offseason. I mean, they still can. They need to get Mac Jones a little bit more help. They have only one guy with 90 plus speed, Nelson Aguilar. If you ask me to name 10 wide receivers in the league that should 100% be used in a role like this, Aguilar is in that 10. He may not be the best at catching the ball, but he's incredible in terms of yak. Like, he's so fast, so agile. I peeped it back when he was in Philly. That's why we were so disappointed when he started dropping passes, because he already had the makings of a great wide receiver, except for the fact that, you know, the catching the ball part, you know, he was struggling a little bit. Devontae freaking Adams is in Las Vegas, reunited with Derek Carr, and he's currently the fastest receiver on the team. They don't have Djax as of right now, so we gotta use Tay. No one knows what's gonna happen in that wild division, in that wild conference. The only thing we do know, it's gonna be pure chaos. Okay, Devontae is deceptively quick, and we can all see it when we watch him. Like, he's amazing when it comes to route running, catching the ball in so many different ways, but if they start using him like this, it's gonna be over for the league. The Rams easily have the deepest wide receiver core in the league. If they somehow bring Odell back, I don't know, man, just hand over the trophy. They just got Allen Robinson, but Tutu Atwell is their fastest wide receiver. The Rams could just do exactly what they did last year and be perfectly fine, but if they want to get creative, then yeah, I think Tutu in the jet sweep kind of role would thrive. Now, he's mostly used as a kick return specialist, but I do think if the Rams had less weapons, he'd be getting a lot more touches on this team, but Tutu definitely could play that role as well. I mean, look at the moves he's putting on. The Ravens have one of the fastest receivers in the league, Marquise Hollywood Brown. Just like Aguilar, I think Hollywood is in that top 10 receivers in this video that I think should definitely be used in a role like this. He's just too fast not to be. 97 speed, you can't teach speed. Look at how easy it is. He had his first 1,000-yard season last year, and I think he's getting better every single season. They just need to get him more opportunities, and he'll make plays just like this. Noah Fant is easily the fastest tight end on his new team, the Seahawks. But as for the wide receiver position, that title goes to the man with one of the best hawks in NFL history, DK. We saw this man stick up for Steelers quarterback. You love to see it. Now, I don't know if Drew Lock's actually going to end up being a starter, but if he is, you can pretty much bet he's going to throw to DK a lot. I don't think I'd quite put him in the top 10 wide receivers I want to see in this role, but I think he could easily thrive in it if they decide to use him. No more Juju in Pittsburgh. He's headed down to Kansas City to do TikToks with Jackson Mahomes. So now they're left with Deontay Johnson and Claypool, who's actually their fastest wide receiver. Now it remains to be seen if it's going to be Mason Rudolph or Mitch Trubisky at quarterback for the Steelers, but one thing's for certain, they always have a deep wide receiver core in Pittsburgh, and if they don't, they just draft another stud. It's crazy. Has to be the best wide receiver factory in the entire NFL. Not to mention Najee Harris in the backfield, man. They still have some solid pieces to work with. Claypool, of course, a big one. Pun intended. Mans is the heaviest wide receiver in the league, 238. Not to mention he's 6'4", so it would be weird seeing him on jet sweeps and things like that, but he does have the speed to make it happen. The Texans have one of the best wide receivers in the league, Brandon Cooks, and it's time to start using him in more ways than one. I think he's easily the best player on the Texans, especially now that Deshaun Watson is gone. I don't even think it's a contest. I don't even think it's close. Maybe you could argue Laramie Tunsil, but hey, my money's on Brandon Cooks, man. He produces no matter who's at quarterback. Now, they no longer have Julio Jones, but they still have AJ Brown. However, he is one speed slower than Racy McMath. That's who we're going to be using. Honestly, a phenomenal name for a fast wide receiver. Racy? Are you kidding me? This has to be the one. Has to be the one. Okay. Oh, Racy, what a move to stop and go. Only one team remaining. Jay Jetta is the best receiver on the team. Is not quite the fastest. That title goes to Dan Chisena, 95 speed. I'm sure they can find a way to get him involved. Or maybe not. I don't know. They have a lot of guys to feed. Dalvin Cook, Jay Jetta's Thielen. There's a lot of mouths to feed. Chisena would just be the fastest one. Last touchdown of the video. Chisena gonna get it done. And there it is. Thank you guys for watching to the end. Before we end, you guys know how Mario Party at the end of the game, they give you like extra stars for certain things you do. That's what I want to do in my CFM. We're making some progress on the followers, man. Still giving away $1,000 of my own money, but also all the donations I've been getting to the Cash App. Thank you so much for that. I'm not keeping it. We're gonna give it back to you guys as incentives during the season in the CFM. Maybe most rushing touchdowns scored, maybe most interceptions. So along with the 1,000 I'm gonna give away, once we hit 7K, we're gonna add on all the donations as well. So go follow so we can get this started.
Nobody's safe. Came from everywhere, we fresh out the gate. And I look like I came from LA. From New Jersey, I look like LA. I'm a water, I'm from in LA. I'ma get it, it's mine for the tape. Ride the beamer when I'm out of state. Could've beat, almost got me a case. Go Olympic, I'm winning the race. 911 cause I'm killing the game. Talking crazy, I'm going insane. Shifting gears and I'm switching the lane. Hop on station, just go entertain. Going up, so I'm making a name.